While there's absolutely no doubt that the most important area of improving your running performance is making sure that you're training appropriately for where you're at in your running and for the goals that you've set for yourself. But one of the most overlooked areas of running performance is the area of nutrition. Today, I want to have a look at 5 of the most effective ways that we can refuel for the running that we've been doing so that you can get out there feeling fresh, feeling ready, and so your body is ready to go on race day or training day. Let's have a look. Well, as the old saying goes, you only get out what you put in, and running is absolutely no exception to that rule. If you want to be getting the best out of your body, you got to make sure you're fueling effectively. But how do we do it? That's what I want to look at with you today. If you haven't been here before, my name's Tyson Popplestone. I'm the head coach here at Relaxed Running. If you need any more professional guidance with you, Relaxed Running offers professional coaching packages for athletes of all fitness levels, all skill levels. So if you're interested in finding out more, hit the link in the description below. Or you just want a bit more free information, make sure you check out the Relaxed Running podcast, also linked down below. But now let's have a look at 5 of the most overlooked elements of running nutrition and refueling that's going to take your running to a brand new level. The first one is overlooking calorie intake. Our culture so often pumps this idea of calorie restriction. You want to be fit and healthy, make sure you reduce the amount of calories that you're taking in. That's all good and well if you just want to look good on the outside, but when it comes to running performance, one of the first things you'll notice if you're not hitting enough calories or replacing the calories that you're using is you're going to start to be tired and fatigued on each of your runs. Do you know the average runner uses between 100 and 150 calories per mile of running? Now, obviously this varies based on pace, weight, fitness, etc. But as a rough guide, that's 600 calories for a 4-mile run. What you've got to figure out is, okay, roughly how many calories are you using on the runs that you're out there doing each week? And are you really replacing the calories that you're using effectively? So many athletes go out and go, okay, I've used 600 calories on that run. That's the equivalent of a Big Mac. What I'll do, I'll go down to McDonald's, I'll buy myself a Big Mac, and the calories that I've used have been replaced. The problem with this approach is a Big Mac obviously lacks so many of the nutritional values that we need out of our food. So while we're simply refueling the calories, our body is not being restored when it comes to the most essential minerals, vitamins, and other things to make sure that our health and longevity are looked after. So I would encourage you to check out your fruits, your vegetables, your grains. Start replacing the calories that you're using with these things, which are known to benefit our health. And then have a plan as to what are your favorites in those food groups so you can have something ready and organized when you get home from your run. Often it's a lack of clarity on what you prefer and what you're looking to replace that stops us doing the practical steps to refuel. But if you've got a couple of snacks handy that you really enjoy and you can look forward to post-run, it's going to make the calorie replacement element of your running so much easier to do, leaving you feeling fresher and more powerful when it comes to implementing the training and racing. The second thing which we often overlook is the importance of carbohydrates. Now, when it comes to distance running, the most effective way to fuel your run is through our carbohydrates. But obviously, depending on when you're consuming the carbohydrates is going to dictate what form of carbohydrates you like. Now, when we look at complex carbohydrates, things that are in fruits and grains and our brown rices, they're great maybe a couple of days before a run, but they're also a little bit more difficult to digest. You've got to dictate what carbohydrate is the most effective carb for you to take in the point of the week that you're in. A lot of athletes that I know like a white rice the night before a long run because this is absorbed quite quickly, stored in the muscles quite effectively, and then when you get out there the following day, you've got that fuel at your disposal. The other form of carbohydrate that you might want in the moments leading up to a run or within the hour and a half of a run is your more simple carbohydrates. The things that are broken down quite quickly, your honeys, your ripe bananas, your dates. The thing you need to be careful of when you're consuming carbohydrates though is fiber. While I personally love eating oats but for a long run, not within about an hour and a half, you've got to be careful because the fiber element of that can really kickstart your digestive system, leading to, you know what it leads to. So be careful with the consumption of fiber in the carbohydrates and make sure you've got an idea of how many carbs you're using and your favorite carbs to use leading up to and post run so you can go out there on the following days feeling even more fueled for your next run. Number 3 is hydration. Do you know the most effective way to hydrate is not just with water? Well, sure, some of the elements that you need to restore in your body is found in water. So many of the salts that are required to restore what it is that you've lost are not found in the water. So I would encourage you to take a personalized sweat test with Precision Hydration. You can get a 15% discount code if you use the coupon code I've linked below. These guys look at you and how you sweat as an individual to make sure that you're restoring what you're losing when you're out there running. Make sure that if you're losing salts, you're replacing salts. You've got to make sure that whatever you sweat out, you replace. Precision Hydration is the ultimate tool to use to replacing what you are losing when you sweat when you run. Number 4 is overlooking nutritional diversity. Like I hit in the first point, we're not just gonna go out and replace calories and fuels with junk fuels. While we might do that from time to time, when it comes to our health and our ability to keep rocking up healthily to do our sport at a high level, we need to make sure that the energy levels that we're replacing are from foods which are known to be good for our bodies. You need to do a little bit of research as to what are your favorite fruits and vegetables and drinks and how you can incorporate these into your weeks to make sure that everything that your body is sweating out is replaced with nutritionally diverse foods. You gotta make sure that you're refueling using foods which are high in their nutrient density. All you gotta do is have a look at which foods have been respected for a long period of time, your fruits, your vegetables, your grains, and find out which ones are your favorite and what foods store the things that you're required to replace after your run. When you've got an idea of what you're lacking and when you've got an idea of what your favorite ways to replace it are, as I said earlier, so much easier to tie those things together to make sure you're hitting the nutritional standards, which keeps you healthy and obviously when it comes to training, more consistent. And lucky last is overlooking the importance of protein. Whenever you damage a muscle, protein is the most effective way to restore that. And there's a number of ways that you can get protein. You just simply need to be aware of how to replace it and how to do it most effectively. While a lot of runners like to go out and use some kind of sports supplement, a powder in a drink to replace the protein, there's also more natural ways. If you like eating meat, you've got your chicken, you've got your beef, you've got your lamb, you've got options there. If you don't like that so much, obviously nuts and grains are a great way to replace that protein as well. A lot of this comes down to you as an individual, what you like and what you lack. When you can put those two things together, you're in a pretty good situation to make sure you're getting the most out of yourself. Guys, if there's anything I've missed, any questions you have, make sure you let me know in the comments below. If you're not already a subscriber here, make sure you hit subscribe, hit like on the video, jump on our socials, which I've linked just here. Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Good luck with your training. Good luck with the preparation for your nutrition, and I can't wait to hear about how quickly you guys are progressing with a focus on the training and the nutrition.